All the rage in the second edition right now is Nymeria Sand, who is an icon-stealing badass. So because of this, I thought that we would take a look at the history of icon removal. To get to the start, we have to go all the way back to the release of the game with Westeros Edition. House Baratheon had control over the power challenge, and to help them, they got Slandered, a one-cost attachment that removes a power icon from attached character. Perhaps not the best card in the game, but it was at least the first example of icon removal. This was followed in the next few expansions, with a card here or there that could remove an icon, often at the fairly high cost of kneeling a character. The best early icon removal was probably the promo card, Take the Black, that removed one of each icon. Still, it was a fairly expensive card and attachments were vulnerable, so icon removal wasn't really a viable strategy yet. The A Crown of Suns expansion introduced House Martell as a new main house. Icon removal was to become one of their long-lasting sub-themes, which has also carried over into 2nd edition. In their first release, they came with a set of attachments, Condemned, Imprisoned and Attainted, which each removed 2 icons. The theme was further expanded on with cards like The Greenblood, Corrupt Disciple and The Prince's Wrath. The theme still wasn't very efficient and didn't see a lot of competitive play, except for a card here or there for utility. At the same time, you also had Alistair Thorne, who added a little icon manipulation to Nightwatch decks. It wasn't until Winter Edition that the theme started to gain a little momentum. Student of Subtlety and Initiate of Poisons now provided a less limited way of removing almost any icon you wanted as long as you had the influence to pay for it. And in those days, influence was abundant. There was also the Scorpion's Sting, which combined icon removal with hand control, which made it very powerful. By this point, icon removal started to make its way into competitive decks for real. The Iron Throne edition saw the release of Orphan of the Greenblood, and especially the Broken Arm. The Broken Arm might seem like an expensive card, but it was actually very playable at the time, due to a card like The Old Gift, which let you play locations using influence instead. Towards the end of the CCG era, Martell kept getting icon removal cards to keep the theme alive. Most notable were perhaps The Wraith and The Scourge. As the game moved into the LCG format, icon removal was kept as a theme for House Martell. Some of the earlier cards were reprinted, while new cards also expanded the theme. Indicative of the LCG era was that icon removal cards became slightly more toned down to adjust to the power level of the LCG era in general, compared to the CCG. Some of the highlights of the LCG era included The Scourge, which again combined icon removal with hand control. Brimstone, which could be triggered multiple times in a phase. Dane Spearman, which was easily repeatable, and Hota's Axe, which added a kill effect. So there you have it. While the power of icon removal has shifted throughout the years, it seems like one thing is for certain: it's a mechanic that's here to stay. So until next time, be wary of the Tears of Liz.